What's up, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. In this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys a really fun setup I've been using, basically just running No Land Beyond plus shotgun on my Titan Defender. Now in terms of exotic armor, you'll see in the reload animation there, you can tell I'm using the feedback fence exotic gauntlets on the Defender. That's basically because I want to deter people as much as possible from coming up close and personal. So I'm using a shotgun with a feedback fence. So the ultimate goal there is, and the whole goal of this build entirely, is really to be able to use the No Land Beyond as the primary weapon and not really have to resort to using the shotgun until I get low on ammo, or in situations like this where I really just want to close a gap quickly to deter a revive and maximize points. So this has just been a ton of fun to play with, and I know a lot of people actually struggle using the No Land Beyond. And there are a number of videos out there that can really kind of give you some tips on how to use it effectively. My main advice that I could give you, that would really be to focus less on the sight picture behind the sights themselves, because that's what a lot of people, well, obviously when you're looking through a scope on a sniper rifle with any other sniper in the game, really you're focusing on the sight picture on the other side of the glass. But the problem with No Land Beyond is that the sights are just so obstructive that you can't see much. So you end up really just kind of trying to squint your way through that tiny opening and kind of figure out what your sights are actually on. I actually tell people, instead of focusing on what's on the other side of the sights, focus on the sights themselves. It actually kind of makes it easier to tell when a head comes into the sight picture, instead of focusing on what's on the other end, because you end up getting a little bit disoriented that way. So focus on the sights themselves and just trust your peripherals to tell you when something enters that sight picture, and you'll find yourself being a little bit more accurate. This is one of the reasons I loved using this loadout. I just had so many funny moments like this. This guy's like, hey, die, why did you know die? Every time I scope in, he starts shooting to anticipate me popping out. But that was just an easy way to get a guy with heavy ammo out of the equation for the time being. And I had fun moments like that all the time using this setup. Here was another fun moment. I kind of put this in a precarious, strange corner here. But they kind of got mad about it and kept coming at me. So maps like Asylum really are ideal for using No Land Beyond, because this map in particular has, in the most trafficked areas, it's got some low ceilings. Not in this room specifically, but the hallways around it. It also has lots of doorways, bottlenecks, and choke points where you can get people traveling through them, catch them off guard, and get some easy kills. So I had a lot of fun running on this map with No Land Beyond. I did have a number of games like 32-2, 24-4, using No Land Beyond here. Just because when you learn how to work all these entrances, you can really deter people as they start to push you. It's on maps like this that are a little bit more open that you have to start worrying a little bit more about the sort of vertical compensation for your rounds with No Land Beyond. Now you'll see in some of these clips on Blind Watch here, lots of times where I have to use No Land Beyond to fire and get a headshot on someone who is falling or has some sort of vertical motion, or isn't on the same level as I am, so just sighting in a head level isn't as easy as pointing the gun straight in front of you. So I have some tips in my sniping series on vertical compensation, but one of the things that I would tell you with No Land Beyond is really wait to pull the trigger until you think you're at the really the tip top, the crown of their head, not sort of dead center. Because I found that this gun can sometimes be a little bit less forgiving, so try and shoot for right at the top, the crown of the head. You'll find that you're gonna get more headshots than normal with No Land Beyond if you do that. And in fact, if you watch people like KJ Hovey and the Manigator when they use this weapon, they may not even know it, but just studying some of their gameplay, I've noticed that they have a tendency of right before they pull the trigger to actually drag the sight itself straight up. So they kind of snap up and pull the shot, and you'll see in that shot right there, I did exactly that, and I picked that little tidbit up just from watching their gameplay. So that may be something that'll help get you a little bit more accurate. Now, the rest of the loadout here, I'm using magnetic grenades because it's really easy, and you see me do it a few times in the video already. But when you're inside the Ward of Dawn and you want to deter people from coming in, you can just step out, throw that grenade, and step back in. Because people tend to, for some reason, they'll sort of stop moving. When they see you in a Ward of Dawn bubble, they'll walk up to it, and they'll kind of stop moving and maybe just try and anticipate how you're going to move. But for some reason, they tend to stand still a little bit because it kind of gives the image of a barrier between the two of you, so it gives them this sort of false sense of security, and you have to take advantage of that. You've also seen me earlier in the vid chase down and shotgun down a guy who turned around to run away from the bubble. That's because it gives that false sense of security. They think they have time just because there's that visual cover there. So take advantage of that false sense of security that they have. Now, my shotgun I'm using here, one of the things that you've heard me say before in my videos, and obviously Bungie agrees because of the incoming nerfs, but I really do believe that shotguns with rangefinder, shot package, all these other things that increase the range on it so you can get these shotguns that can snipe you at ridiculous range, I don't think that's right. I think that's an imbalance in the game, and obviously they do too since it's getting patched. But just because it is an imbalance that I see, because of that reason, I try not to use them. I try to avoid them at all costs. So I'm using the Astral Horizon here, which has set perks on it, and none of them increase the range or the effective range or even the spread of the projectiles on the shotgun. So I'm not going to use something that feeds the imbalance. Now, I don't look down on people who do. Obviously, you have to adjust to the meta of the game, and that's totally fine. It's just sort of a personal choice. I like to challenge myself to play according to what I think is fair and balanced, as opposed to what the game itself allows. So because of that, I'm using the Astral Horizon. This is attained through the Trials of Osiris. Sometimes Brother Vance will sell it, but otherwise you're going to need to try and get it out of a one of the reward packages. Now, be careful challenging Sunsingers with No Land Beyond. Obviously, it's going to take more than one headshot. I really do wish that No Land Beyond had a higher impact, because as it stands, I think that this is a sniper that's much harder to use than any other sniper in the game. So I feel like it ought to reward a skilled hand, and it ought to have enough impact to bang people off of revives, Sunsingers, overshielded opponents, whatever it may be. On the other end of that, I do understand it is a primary sniper, so it does have to have some drawbacks as well. So maybe that's their way of keeping it from becoming too powerful in the right hands. But overall, when you commit yourself to using this weapon, it's going to improve your overall accuracy. It's going to improve how you react to targets coming into your field of vision, not necessarily into your sight picture, but into your field of vision. You'll have a better reaction speed, and you'll see that in a lot of my gameplay where you kind of have to snap the sights while you're still sighted in, snap them over to a target and try and get a headshot. So you'll see that a lot. And once you get all these things working together, you can be pretty effective at whatever range it is. No Land Beyond, obviously, as opposed to other sniper rifles, can in some situations be easier to use in that closer to mid-range than other snipers. It's really, for me, it's at the long range distance that I have trouble using No Land Beyond. So I obviously in the Crucible, most of these maps don't have super crazy long sight lines if you're not in the Combined Arms playlist. So for a standard Crucible, I think No Land Beyond can be pretty deadly, pretty fun to use. Now you'll see I like using it obviously as the primary. I'm not really resorting to my shotgun much. But what you can do is take advantage of the fact that a lot of times when people see that flare of the sniper, they see that glow, they don't anticipate a charge. So you see that some of the gameplay where I actually charge a target down after switching from the No Land Beyond to the shotgun. So I hope this has been helpful. Feel free to use the build. Let me know how you feel about it, and just have some fun with it. It's a great way to challenge yourself to start thinking in more dimensions than what is typical in the Crucible. We'll catch you later.